Well, we're 1 month into the Trump presidency, and the media is trying their best. We already talked about their failed use of the phrase shadow government.
Shadow government.
But their other angle of attack is this.
Some of Musk's team have had an extraordinary amount of access to sensitive data.
Accessing the American people's private data.
Personal private information.
Private information and data.
Sensitive data.
The most private sensitive data.
Private information.
Personal information.
Sensitive information. Your information.
Wow, aren't you glad those people care so much about you? They aren't trying to cover their butts, they're trying to cover your butt. The Social Security head didn't resign because there was rampant fraud. She resigned because she loves you so much. And Chris Christie only ate that whole cheesecake to support America's dairy farmers. Truth is, the government had the exact same amount of data 33 days ago as it does now. But leftists felt better about it then because it was in the hands of the expert class. Faceless smarty pantses who only got their job because of their selfless love for humanity. Now the left is apoplectic because the data is in the hands of people with names. And of course, screen names. But this is a familiar media move. They're telling the part of the story where DOGE bursts in and asks for a bunch of numbers. They're not saying why DOGE is bursting in. Is it that Elon just wants to take an Uncle Scrooge bath in your personal data? Or could it be because we're spending millions of tax dollars teaching Afghan women about modern toilet art? Among other things. They show the reaction and hide the provocation. It's like when they show the clip where the cop shoots a guy, but not the part where the guy was running at him with a knife. We've seen it before. But what bothers these people most is that Trump is taking away their biggest power play. For decades, the political establishment has operated on appeals to authority, even during Trump's first term. That was their argument for Russian collusion, against Hunter Biden's laptop, and for staying inside or standing 6 feet apart for 2 years. Their arguments reduced to because unelected bureaucrats said so. Your average leftist loved this stuff. It was their security blanket, their emotional support bureaucracy. The problem for them now is that Trump is clearing them out. Suddenly, they're not experts, they're just unemployed people. So they have to frame Trump's government as some outside force, separate from the old government, the one that we should trust. But even so, I don't see how they can stop the purge. Complaining on TV isn't going to do much. They might as well be doing an interpretive dance in front of the Kennedy Center. Oh. Trump doesn't seem to be letting up anytime soon, so once he puts his people in charge, I'll be curious to see what their next tack is. It's complicated by the fact that DOGE is not a brand new entity. It's a renamed and repurposed version of the United States Digital Service, an agency founded under Obama. But now it's somehow not only not to be trusted, it's one of the 4 Doges of the apocalypse. Now, I'm not just trying to point out hypocrisy. What I'm trying to do is show a key strategic weakness. They may not be able to do anything by complaining on TV, but they're really trying to fight this in the courts. But because DOGE is just a renamed version of an already existing agency, it lets the air out of all their legal challenges. Every criticism you could make about DOGE, it's full of unelected officials, there's no congressional oversight, they have access to personal data, is true of every other federal agency, including the previous version of the USDS and all the ones that DOGE is auditing. So they're not just rhetorically bankrupt, they also don't have any real legal challenge. They made themselves really easy to ignore. At bottom, it shows that they don't believe that Trump has the right to use the power he was elected to wield. But they have their reasons. The presidency has been fake for a long time, and the bureaucrats thought they could just keep running things like they did the first time. In 2016, Trump wasn't prepared. This time, the left wasn't prepared. They expected to be able to run the same plays. They expected that Trump would again underestimate their power. What they didn't expect was for him to come in and kick them right in their
private sensitive data.